All right, we'll call the meeting to order then at 2:10. Let's introduce ourselves.
Scott Morley, Dan Webster.
Matt Maxwell.
Kate Fletcher.
Good. Any changes today?
Yes.
Yep.
David Yao. Retirement, yeah.
Okay. Public comment? Okay, that brings us to road foreman resignation. One of you should read that.
Whole thing.
Yep.
You, John, on May 25th, 2023, you verbally resigned your position as interim road foreman for the town of Coventry in the presence of town administrator Matt Maxwell and select board member Scott Morley. The select board hereby accepts your resignation from your position as interim road foreman. If you have any town-owned property such as equipment, keys, and the like, please return them to the select board on or before June 9th, 2023. On behalf of the town of Coventry, we extend our sincere gratitude for you for your service to the town. You spent years helping to make Coventry a better place. We thank you for your dedication.
It's a letter to John. You can. It's a verbal resignation. How did you? You good with it? I am. You want a motion?
Go ahead.
You want a motion on that, Matt?
Yes, please.
I'll make a motion that we accept the verbal resignation of Mr. Buchanan and that we sign this letter and send it to him and wish him well.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, good.
Sorry about being late.
That's okay. We just barely started.
So along the same agenda line, Mr. Maxwell, can we talk a little bit about the fact that we now have another agency
Yes.
and what we might want to be doing and not doing? We're not going to executive session, right? And actually haven't warned it. But I think we have to at least have some discussion around what that has meant for us. So we have two regular road workers that we hired that are full time.
Both that have a CDL license,
Yeah, right.
Correct. Both CEOs.
not. I mean, they know how to run every piece of equipment, but
No,
don't have a license.
Yeah.
So they can learn.
yeah, and they have been, Matt's been meeting with them each morning, right, and stepping into the road foreman and supervision responsibilities for us.
Interim road foreman.
Yeah. That's right. Road foreman, did all that. So he's keeping them going and looking at the project and, everything's going well, so. I think the discussion that we need to have, and Mr. Maxwell's gonna tell us we should have it today or have it in an executive session, is how make a plan or a strategy to fill a vacant position, whether we want to deem it to be a road foreman or whether we want to deem it to be a road worker, and the process on how that works. That's sort of where we're at right now.
Mm-hmm.
I think the first thing we need to do is establish the platform of what needs to be done this summer, right? Like, Matt can get that work from you know, get that description from John,
Yeah.
or from David. You know, the outline of what this summer looked like.
Yeah.
I know we have a box culvert somewhere, we put in.
Hancock Hill, yep,
We're probably gonna need some super, I mean, I know we contracted.
we contracted that out. I don't know how involved we're expected to be in that. If they need like a truck or something, if we're gonna haul gravel, I don't know.
I don't know if there's anything that we're
Required,
obligated to do,
Good.
but it would be good to know.
it would, yeah.
I guess what is the best? I think we should advertise for 4 men.
This is where you're gonna tell us we should be doing executive session.
Once you start saying names, I'm gonna say you probably should be in executive session.
Why, like, if we have a vacancy and the vacancy is the road foreman, why? Yeah,
Ooh, but if you're talking about current town employees that that we currently employ, then I think that should probably be
no, we're talking the lack of having one.
right. As long as you don't start saying people's names, then I think you're okay.
I think the risk that Matt is talking about is he knows us. And he knows that in order to create a plan, you have to have that discussion around what those people have been providing or not providing, and how we're thinking about whether we want to go out and look for another employee at a foreman level or another employee at a worker level, and how you're dealing with the current staff that you have. And so one intertwines with the other.
So maybe on the agenda for the next meeting.
He's probably right. I think we should probably next week, right?
Yeah, Monday.
So we could do an executive session, we could have Matt maybe do some work between now and then.
Well, when I talked to him today, I said that we were having a meeting today to accept John's resignation, and that I would talk to them tomorrow about what that meant going forward.
There we go.
So they already know, they've already been told that.
So we could be doing some of that work for us and find out.
Meanwhile, you can get the platform built of what we need in our discussion, executive session, of what that looks like in. Maybe next thing we're gonna need. Road foreman, someone's gonna be in charge.
Let's do that.
All right, so next is salt shed construction.
So prior to John being retired in the town, we had a discussion regarding the salt shed. So we had hired McAllister to go and do the concrete work, and originally the plan, which I was thinking, was they were adding on to the existing salt shed. When my initial thought of that looked like adding a foundation to it and extending the building, but that wasn't the case. What the case was tearing the building down and adding to the existing foundation. So now we have a complete foundation, 3 walls and a floor with no building at all. There's no. So it looks like we need to construct rough dimensions of 28 by 30, 26 by 30, something like that. The salt needs to be covered.
Right. So the foundation's done.
Foundation's
We
done.
paid for that? Could we do that with our,
We did.
so it's done deal, right?
It's done.
Yep.
And we.
Yeah, well, I mean, Richard dropped off the invoice. I don't know if it's come through the cycle. It's a cycle, yeah, but it's in there.
And I believe we may have possibly earmarked the balance of the remaining
We did.
funds of the opera funds
Yeah.
for this construction.
You certainly discussed that using whatever the 55,000 is left for this project here.
When I went over it with John, how the structure should be. We discussed 12-foot pressure treated walls, 2x6, treated plywood on the inside, truss rafters, metal roof and metal siding to match the existing building. I got 2 quotes for trusses from Bowling lumber and quote from bowling lumber and I got a quote from sticks and stuff. And bowling lumber, we got, I believe, like $500 less. They're 4 weeks out. We have the quote, we have the bid. We want to okay to order the trusses. That's something we need to do. We're gonna build this building.
So the process is who's doing the building.
Well,
We haven't put it out there.
we haven't put it out to bid. I have, was willing to get the material together. I thought it would be in the town's best interest to buy all the material for the building. And I submit the material list to Bowling Lumber on behalf of the town and sticks and stuff. And
So we don't have a contract.
I do know some contractors that are currently doing with me that will work by the hour and that will give us a price. Estimated how long it will take, not to exceed so much. I would recommend using these guys. They're good, they're reasonable. I don't think we'll get anybody in the morning.
So will they give us a quote?
I can write up the whole material list and yeah, it'll be made, it's gonna be like 3 weeks. I don't imagine. It's gonna be less than 18,000 later.
Who is it?
Material. Rick Rovers.
Yeah.
I mean, there's two sons, they all work independently, they all have their own insurance, and we just pay them by the hour.
They do want to do that and lose the cost of the 10% on material.
We just supply all the materials, so. Frank from Only Lumber is gonna set up the town the cash account and sticks and stuff. I would recommend buying the materials, building materials, and sticks and stuff, mainly because it's better quality. Full price both, and the price probably would be cheaper from sticks and stuff anyway, but when we get to that bridge. They use all number one, and not number two. So we'll get to that.
So the only thing that I would make sure that we're not doing here is deviating from our bid process. The town, right, the bid process, when they meet projects that we have, and we should, if we're interested in Rick doing a job like that, he should have to bid it.
They'll bid it.
And then we should get 1 or 2 other quotes, and others aren't gonna wanna do it that way, like they're gonna want. And so it's whatever, and if they wanna bid it, that's a little hard though, because you're doing apples and oranges, huh? Because you don't know there's labor time that's gonna be, you know, there's labor rate yet, but you don't know it's a later time. So in order to bid that, again, the company is gonna say $30,000 for the project, I don't know how you can do that.
Well, you could cap his labor, and then we know the materials, and we could compare that to a bid that we have. I don't think you're gonna find, you're not gonna just, there's not a line, you're not gonna get a line of contractors who are just gonna come build a salt shed this summer. Anybody who's anybody already is full.
I trust that's true. But
And honestly, talking to our town attorney, if we don't have to get a bid. If we don't want to get a bid on a building, we don't have to get a bid. We don't have to get multiple bids.
we don't have to.
We don't have-
We have a policy that says, a self-imposed policy that says we will. We crafted a policy because it just takes all the guesswork out of it and it just leaves it transparent, so nobody can come and suggest that we're giving friends favors, right?
Exactly.
That's why we do it.
Yeah.
And so we should follow our policy, we should put it out. If Rick is, my opinion, Rick is interested in the job, he's gotta give us something in writing. Doesn't absolutely have to be apples and oranges, but if we have something to base our decision on. That's reasonable and that we know. And he can write up however he wants to write it up.
I don't know if I'll have it for the next meeting, but I can have it for the following meeting after that, so the complete material price.
Yeah.
The town will buy.
Yeah.
And I think we should buy all the materials. I will save money.
Probably.
And then he'll say, I'll build it for this much money. We put those ones together, and if you want to put it out for bid, then we should do that, but regardless, I think. You may want to order the trusses, we don't have to do that, make that decision today, but we want to probably order them. We're at least 4 or 5 weeks out from having anyone. Even if he can't build it for 4 or 5, 6, 7 weeks anyway, he's kind of doing the favor if we want him to do it. You know, he squeaked it in, I threw it out there and he said yes, but. Does he care if he goes in there or not?
So asking for a quote, right?
We'll get a number and then we'll try to get another number.
I think we should, because it's in your mind, your brain, you know, what the material, you know, you mentioned you want this first pressure treated, you want this residing, you want this, you know that. I think you should write that stuff down and give it to Matt. And I think you should just try to call, try to get a quote from somebody around here for that project.
I'll spec out,
Spec it
I'll
out.
spec it out.
And you should try to get another one just to make sure that we have, but you're gonna have to have a completion date. October 1st. And that gives us enough time to get ourselves recovered. Whatever that is,
Whatever that is, I'll find out.
you know, whether it's September or
When
October.
do we usually get our salt? Ask John.
You know, I mean, that, Matt, maybe you can give us that date,
Mhm.
you know, by you know, whatever you're
Yep.
gonna do to figure out the date of completion by.
Okay.
And if you can spec it out, then I would feel a lot more comfortable just.
It's 2 or 3 weeks worth of work for 3 guys probably, and, I'm guessing, I didn't price out all the materials, but I'm guessing the total project would be either 50,000.
Yeah.
Sound good? Yeah.
So am I ordering those tomorrow? Trusses?
We can wait.
Okay.
Can wait, I can price them again, they just keep going up.
Yeah, I don't know why you would order it if you happen to get somebody else that says that they will do it.
And they don't want to do it this way?
Yeah.
Okay, okay,
You pinch yourself in.
all right.
Go to another shed. We're using all on the.
Very good.
Yeah.
Another gazebo, the bandstand over there.
Next up, we have gravel for the Coventry Falls parking area.
All right, so that's a project I know about. That was Mr. Call coming to us. I don't know if you remember, few months ago, he came to us and approached, have a discussion around the potential for the town to, what's the right word, not take over, but sort of
Maintain.
Yeah, it was like a
it
lease agreement or some sort of,
he essentially is seeking a conversation with the town in order for his property along the shore of the river, the Black River, by his house, to take ownership of that particular strip of land so that it can maintain public access indefinitely in the future. There's a lot of work that would have to be done about that, right? The research and discussions with lawyers and discussions with our insurance company and all in whether or not we really want to do that. That, it was winter when we came, we said, you know, at least we would want to do a site visit. Matt and I went down, John didn't go with us, he was supposed to go with us, but he didn't.
yeah, no, we went down later because you guys went.
So it's a town road, his driveway that he currently uses, tell me when I'm wrong on this. The driveway that he currently uses is the town road.
Correct.
At some point between the intersection of that and the Hermanville Road,
Yes,
Yes,
at some point between the intersection of his drive, which is the town highway, and Hermanville Road to his house, the road bed that's the town's goes away from it. So the agenda item that we're talking about is gravel that is on the town road at the intersection of that road and Hermanville
Hermanville.
Road.
It's it's like a wide, I think I remember seeing
Yeah.
that map. We had a map diagram of it and
Right, so the town had changed, when they built the new bridge, it changed the roadway, changed the roadway. Then there's a little section where people that go there to visit the river, fishing, fishing, swimming, schools go there, have to park. And so the parking area that he's maintaining currently for all that access is owned by the town. He's got some big rocks there so that, people don't drive into the river and whatever. And sort of delineates where the parking space is. He's requesting that the town provide
some gravel.
one or two, right, up to two loads of gravel for that parking space, to bring it, a little bit more flat and improve it.
And he was gonna level himself.
And he's in one himself, and he's in the wheels rocks.
I think it's a great idea.
So
I mean, that's a starting point regardless that we need to do, whether we ever take any ownership of the block or we want it right away.
And it's home, it's not, it's our property, it's the town property. So we told them we would bring it back to the board, we'd have this discussion. We assumed probably that it would happen, and if we vote to do that, Matt will communicate that back, because you'll have to coordinate, you'll have to do those rocks. And
Yep.
we'll dump it, and you'll have to coordinate that with the guys.
Yep.
That is going to lead to the next level of discussion, so. That he is wishful for us to have with him, which is what happens now. He wants, that process to go through, it doesn't mean we want it to go through. But I don't know how you think we should do that. You think having a town meeting and doing a site visit with the whole group is important, or we get planning commission involved, or what do you think? There's a lot of moving parts, and I don't think that we should start something. I have mixed feelings on the planning commission as taking over the project, because we need to maintain control.
Right,
So if we ask for participation and help from the planning commission, I think we got to be extremely prescriptive
yeah,
in what we're providing as authority for them to do or not do down there. And I don't know, even because we've never talked to Jim about that, if he would even want it to be that way.
right. I think, well, we want to do it in stages. This is the first stage. I think we should talk to Jim and identify what he feels like the second stage is. Now that he's, and then once he gives us that answer, then we can talk about it.
That makes sense. At some point. So let's do that. Let's get this approved. Let's get it back to you.
Mhm.
Coordinate that with Jim and with the road guys.
Yep,
And then in that discussion with Jim, figure out where he's at now.
Right.
He saw through it some more and what the next step would be.
Yeah.
And then all the while, keeping an eye toward, we all have to go down there.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have to do that at a meeting so that these guys can put their eyes on it, see the scope
mhm,
of the whole thing and talk,
Okay.
and do that other. That's what I said.
mhm.
We need a vote.
Yeah, go ahead and just make a motion and
I'll make a motion, the town provide 2 loads of gravel to the intersection parking area between Given Cobb's driveway and Irvingville Road in the designated area.
Second. All those in favor? Aye.
okay. Just need to adjourn now.
Nope.
One
Nope.
quick question. Did you receive any update from Bill on that? Yes.
Yeah, that's in here. It's on the June 5th,
It's on the
June 5th agenda. So you can approve that. Oh yeah, I almost forgot about Dave's thing. You guys got to do that too.
So some time ago, we discussed getting David Gallup a retirement gift. You know, remember that? You know,
Was it keys to the grader?
No. And, I was doing that stuff, so I talked to his mouth. We were gonna remember how we can do that, we're gonna keep secret and not tell Dave.
Yeah.
So I communicated with his wife, and we talked through what would be nice, and we decided that, getting them a hotel room for 2 nights over in Thousand Islands. And she gave me the 2 dates, July 21 and July 22. And so, I went ahead and contacted that hotel, so Thousand Island Harbor, right here.
Yep.
Had those discussions, it's very expensive. It is $479 a night. Right on the St. Lawrence River.
They come with.
So I called them and I told them what the dates were and told them what we were doing and why, how we were doing it. And that I wouldn't be able to deal with that until Tuesday, which is today, because we had to have a town meeting. And asked her if they could reserve that. And she said, no, it wouldn't reserve it without money. So she got my credit card. Okay. So I've paid for half of it already.
I think it's terrible.
I think so. So she would not do that without getting half the payment, so.
I think it's a good idea.
I think we should do it. I'm going to pay for it either way. I'm so far out on this limb now that I'm just gonna have to suck it up and pay for this, you suckers as well.
No, I mean, you know.
I would do it.
Gallup.
Yeah. He deserves it.
His town,
Yeah.
He worked cheaper than, but we're feeling the crunch now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
With trying to hire someone for the position, you almost need to pay twice as much as what he was getting for half the person.
Yep.
So, I make the motion.
Hold it. So this is gonna have to be done in a couple steps. We do not want to do reimbursements, or what's the word?
yeah, reimbursement.
Yeah, we don't.
We'd
wanna
be
do-
reimbursing you.
We don't want to do reimbursements if we can help it.
No.
We got a policy.
We want to call them and have them credit your card back. In terms of the town.
what I said.
Yeah, that's it. It's easy to do. Yeah.
So I'm gonna give it to Matt to do that.
Yeah, you're
You can just pay for it from the town and get her to credit mine back.
Yep.
You'll need your card number.
Yeah. I can just leave it there.
Yep.
And I'm sure they will do that. Now we have a credit card that'll.
I do, yep.
That'll do that.
Mhm.
And so.
I use all that.
Yeah, don't be right, giving my other numbers, but that's your,
Okay.
those are the dates. And then,
So for the gift, so I make the motion to allow the town to pay for 2 nights stay for Mr. Gallup for the total of $1,063.38 at Island Harbors Hotel. There for July 21st and 22nd. I have a confirmation number of. Let me-
That's good.
Okay.
second,
Okay,
All in favor? Aye.
all right. Now you can adjourn us.
Think what we adjourn.
Right.
second, thanks for my money back, guys. Thought I was gonna lose that one.